Hi there, Keith here once again from Target Properties Spain. Welcome to another of our deep dive series videos where we take an in-depth look at a particular subject. And today I'm joined by a very good friend of mine, an all-round good bloke, Andy Whethen from Golden Paws Pet Transport. Today we're talking about moving your furry friends in and out of Spain. Welcome, Andy. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, mate.
Maybe you can start by telling us a little bit about you and what Golden Paws does.
Yeah, my name's Andy. I run Golden Paws Pet Transport. I've been on the coast for over 20 years, and primarily what we do is we relocate people's pets between Spain and the UK.
Okay, so we often get asked by our clients looking to bring their pets over to Spain how they do it. So what options do people have for moving pets to and from Spain?
The options that people have are very limited. It's generally either bring them yourself, which is obviously a long trip, get a pet transporter to do it, and the only other option is to fly them. A lot of people don't like that as an option. It's very limited with airlines and also extremely expensive.
And what kind of clients do you help? I mean, we often get asked by people that are looking to relocate here, but I imagine you help people move pets out of Spain as well.
Our main clients fall into one or two categories. It's either people that are relocating, either from Spain back to the UK or UK to Spain,
Yep.
or people that already own property in Spain. So they'll be coming backwards and forwards on a regular basis because they're not resident here. Obviously, they can only stay for their 90 days.
The 90-day rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, say no more. So I assume that a UK dog can also stay 90 days in every 180, just like the owners.
They've actually got more rights than their owners do. So, for example, a dog coming out of the UK to Spain with their owner, if they're on what's called an animal health certificate, on there, it states that they can actually stay, the dog or cat can stay in Spain for a maximum of 120 days.
Oh, wow. So they can stay longer,
So they can stay longer than the owner.
Than the UK owner.
Exactly.
Interesting. And is it only dogs or are there other kinds of animals as well?
So we are licensed in Spain under EU regulations and also in the UK. And on both of those, it states 3 animals.
Okay.
Dogs, cats, and one other. But I'll let you try and guess what the other one is.
Okay. I don't know. Hamsters? Snakes?
No. So on our license, it states that we are allowed to move dogs, cats, and ferrets.
And ferrets.
Never taken a ferret in my life, but that's what it states on our
Well,
license.
next time one of our clients says they've got
anybody with ferrets,
a business of ferrets to move,
business of ferrets.
I'll say that you're the man to help them. Okay, and how does it actually work? So, you know, what's the actual process? What's the practicalities? What are the logistics of
The trip itself.
Yeah.
So a trip for us, obviously, being based here in Spain, is Spain to the UK and the UK back again. That trip takes us a week to do.
Okay.
It covers on average around about 7,000 kilometres in that week. So starting from Spain, the first morning is collections.
Oh, so you collect the animals from home. They don't. The clients don't
Exactly.
bring the animals to you.
Everything that we do is a door-to-door service.
Okay.
So I might start, for example, down at their linear on a Friday morning and then move back along the coast, collecting as we go along. Once we've got everybody on board, we're then heading north up towards Granada, Madrid, heading up to the French border, and then from there on through France, and then finally crossing normally between Calais and Dover into the UK, and then all the drop-offs. So along the way, what we'll do is we are stopping 4 times a day to walk the dogs as we're going on.
And just to make this clear, because obviously I've seen your vehicle, the Golden Paws wagon.
Yeah.
So how many animals can you transport in this?
During the winter months, we carry a maximum of 7 in and out of the UK.
Okay.
In the summer months, we carry 9. So as we're going along and we're doing those stops, what I'll be doing updates to the owners. So we call them our adventures. So each adventure has its own event on our Facebook page. All the owners get invited to that before the trip. And as we're going along, we're providing updates, because obviously you're talking about moving essentially part of somebody's family.
Yeah, I totally get that. I mean, when we've got, as you know, we've got Stella, our little dog, and when we're planning a holiday, for example, one of the first things we say to each other is, "Oh, what about Stella? What about the dog?"
Yeah.
If you've got a family that are talking about relocating to Spain, one of the very early questions that they can ask each other is, "What about the dog? What do we do about the dog?"
We'll get people contact us months in advance of them, especially if it's a relocation. You can imagine the conversation at home. Turn around, they've maybe made that decision to finally buy and move to or relocate to Spain. And the first thing the wife or the husband's going to say is, "What about the dog?"
Yep.
So they'll start looking into it. We'll get the phone calls even before they've probably even looked at where they're going to buy, what they're going to buy, visas, all this sort of stuff. So,
and it's such a great environment here for a dog. You've got
fantastic.
Everything's outdoors. We've got dog parks. We've got dog beaches. You can walk them for kilometres and kilometres and kilometres. So it kind of makes sense to bring your furry friend with you.
yeah, exactly.
So given how many trips you do a year and how many animals you can transport at a time, depending on whether it's summer or winter, how far in advance should clients be contacting you? What does the client need to do to book a spot?
So we have 11 main trips a year. To give you an idea, I've already now in February been asked for our 2025 dates.
Okay, so you need to book that far in advance.
Well, what will happen is by the time we finish the first half of the year, so July, I will then release all of my dates as far as December next year. All of our regular clients, the people that already have second homes here, they need to book their dates of travel around when I'm going backwards and forwards, because there are rules and regulations on when the owner and animal have to leave within 5 days of each other, you see.
Oh, so the owner and animal only have a 5-day window to leave the UK?
So anybody with any pet needs to essentially have the transport for their animal organised before they can think about booking their flight. Okay. A common mistake is somebody will ring me up and say, "I've got my flights booked for the 2nd of April, but my trip would be on the 16th. Well, obviously that's not within 5 days of travel. So we always say to everybody, look, you have to organise the animal first before you think about your dates.
Okay, interesting. So is there any other kind of paperwork or bureaucracy that the clients need to bear in mind?
Yep, 2 main points are, say you are resident in Spain, you have a home here.
Yep.
For that, the client would typically have a European pet passport.
Yeah, we have one, yep.
So in there you will have your rabies vaccination pages, tapeworm treatments, medical checks. So with a pet passport, it's easier. We'll obviously talk people through what they need to do, when they need to do it, how they need to do it. But if you're coming out of the UK for the first time, since Brexit, there is no longer pet passports in the UK.
Oh, the dreaded B word has more consequences than you first thought. Okay.
So because the pet passport is a European issued document, as soon as the UK left, it was no longer allowed to issue pet passports.
Okay, so what do you do then if you're in the UK?
What they replaced it with is called an animal health certificate.
Okay.
It's a 12-page document that has to be signed off by an official vet. They can only issue it a maximum of 10 days prior to the animal leaving the UK.
Okay.
So, again, the owner needs to know, the first thing is, when is the animal leaving the UK? With that as well, prior to them leaving, they'll have to have a rabies vaccination. That's the only treatment they need to get them out. Once the vet signs it, that certificate is valid then for 120 days.
So there's quite a lot to think about. You know, it's not as simple. If you're looking to do it yourself, it's not as simple as just
putting them in a car and doing it yourself. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. But again, what we like to do is basically take that client by the hand and we can walk them all the way through it.
So once you've got your dog in, so let's say you're bringing your dog or cat to Spain, once they arrive in Spain, is there anything that you then need to do? Do you need to register the dog? Or?
Yeah, exactly. So obviously every animal needs to be microchipped. There is no centralised database within the EU. So if your dog is registered in the UK, unfortunately it's not registered here. So if you're permanently relocating, for example, the minute that you get to Spain, you need to go to your local vets and register them. So, hope it never happens, but if you're out walking the dog, it slips its lead, it runs off, somebody finds it. If they were to take it to the vets and scan it and they haven't registered their dog, the chip number will come up, but it won't come up on the database.
Okay.
So they won't know who the owner is, who the contact details are, or anything.
They just know it has a chip.
They just know it has a chip.
Yeah, okay.
So we always say to everybody, the minute that you get here, you need to register your dog.
Yeah, okay, makes sense. Anything else that you think clients need to know?
Preparation is just really the main thing. The earlier people get in contact with us, the more we can do to help. Like I say, well, dogs are part of the family. They're high on their list.
Yeah.
Timing is everything. And then we'll help with everything else. Don't worry or overcomplicate it. Let us talk you through it and take you through those steps.
Okay, fabulous. Andy, been a pleasure as always. Thank you very much for your time.
Cheers, pal.